What's up, everybody? My name is David. I'm new to YouTube. I'm new to making these videos, so please bear with me. I know the camera's shaky, and I know the quality's not the best, but please, like I said, this is my first video. Um, I'm fixing to start my channel, and I want to start pushing out videos every week. So please, I would really appreciate it if you guys could please subscribe and like my videos. So with that said, let me get right into it. I don't want to waste no time no more time than I have to. If I'm wasting your time, forgive me. But please, like I said, let me jump right into it. Like the title says, getting drunk and getting in a cell fight. um, so the year was well, this was back in 2003, January of 2003. I had just rolled up to Wasco Reception Center from the LA County Jail. I fought my case for a few months, and I finally took a 4-year deal. They sent me up to Wasco. I caught the chain. I went up to Wasco, and anybody who's been locked up knows, when you first roll up to reception, it's the worst time. It's the worst time you can do, and it's the most uncomfortable experience you can go through. So, you go up on a bus, you drive up on a bus from LA to Wasco, and like I said, it was January, so it was winter time and it was cold. So you're traveling with a paper jumpsuit on. They get you out of the bus and you feel it, man. You feel the cold as soon as you step out of the bus. Um, then they make you go in through the metal detectors, and then you have to strip down butt naked, go through the metal detector, and then they get everybody they get everybody gather everybody around, and as everybody's butt naked, you gotta go through that process of bend over, squat, lift up your nut sacks, cough, uh, uh, squat like a catcher, and lift up your arms, your hands, wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes, all that good stuff. You got to go through all of that, and it's cold. You're going through it. There's all kinds of nurses, doctors walking around, and it's all bad. After that, they get you into a cell. You go into a cell, and you're there. You're asshole naked in a cell with about 20, 30 other dudes. And then they'll bring you your boxers and a pair of socks. That's what they brought us for. So we were like sitting in the cell with boxers and nothing but boxers and socks on for a few hours until they brought us our oranges, our jumpsuits. So what you're waiting for when you're going through that process, the intake process, is a sergeant and a lieutenant are going over your file to see where they're gonna house you, so see where you're gonna be housed. Whether you're gonna be, what level your custody is gonna be. If you're gonna be a level one, level two, level three, or level four. And usually for guys doing a lot of time, doing a lot of years for murders, attempted murders, aggravated assaults, carjacking, stuff like that. Guys with those charges end up going to the cells. They end up going level 3 and level 4 automatically. Guys with uh, Grand Theft Auto for drugs and for burglaries or any minor stuff like that, they end up going to level 1s and 2s. Um, and it also depends on your history. If you've already been incarcerated, if you've been in the system already, your points are going to be higher. So that was my case. I ended up going to a level 3. By the time my process was over, man, I ended up going into a cell to a level 3. So I remember when I got to the cell, it was already like almost 6 o'clock in the afternoon. By the time we were done with the intake, and so I got to the cell, and the first thing I remember, I remember going into the cell, and I thought it was weird because my cellie was already he was already under the covers. He was already asleep, with the light off and everything. And I was like, what the hell? This guy's already. But it was all right at that time because I was tired. I wanted to go to sleep. So I introduced myself to him. I told him, hey, my name is David. I'm just coming from LA. I'm coming off the bus. He introduced him. His name was Weddle from Bakers. Not from Bakers, but from Bakersfield because he didn't gangbang. He was half white and half Mexican. So we introduced each ourselves, and I told him right off the back. I said, "Hey, check this out. I'm gonna take a bird bath, and I'm gonna get out the way. I'm gonna get up on my bed and go to sleep." So that's what I did. I took a quick bird bath, and I jumped up on my bed, went to sleep. Woke up the next morning, chow time came around, and we ate, and then I talked to him. I was like, I said, "Hey, bro," because I noticed that the floor was dirty, man. It was filthy. It was like the dust bunnies, and it was like, I guess they had gone out to yards, so it was like he had drug all the mud and dirt back into the cell, and I hadn't cleaned it. So I said, "Hey, bro, when was the last time you cleaned?" "Oh, I cleaned yesterday." And I said, "Well, it doesn't look like it. Look at this shit. "Oh no, I'll clean." I said, "No, check this out, bro. I'll clean." So I ended up getting the floor time. I ended up cleaning the shit out of that cell. It was filthy. It was under the bed. It was all bad. And he ended up going back to sleep. So I was like, what the hell? What's up with this guy? It's like we call these guys bikers. Biker status. It's these guys that they're pretty much the meaning of that is a dirtbag. They just he's one of these guys that just want to be in a coma. He just wants to sleep his time away. So I looked at him. I was like, man, whatever, bro. Just I wasn't feeling him because that's not how we do our time. The homies always tell us you're always programmed. As a Sureño, you're always programmed. Hey, check this out. You gotta be suited and booted all day. You gotta literally. The meaning of the word shoes on, and you gotta be ready to go. If if your neighbor's a norteño, or if you're living next to blacks, and the shit's popping off, then you gotta be ready. When those gates crack, somebody come rush into your cell and try to get you, so you gotta be ready. um I told him, I said, check this out, bro. That's not, that's not, I don't do my time like you. I'm up and ready. I clean. I work out during the day, and so already there was already animosity there. So from both of us, we already had animosity going, and then after a couple of days, I ended up moving up to. I moved them. I said, check this out, bro. Look, I get my clean on. I get my workout on. So you got to go to the top rack. That's unacceptable. You're not gonna be just laid out all day under the blankets and stuff. If you're gonna do that, go up to the top rack. So he wasn't feeling that, but I kind of it wasn't optional. It wasn't up for debate. And I told him that. I said, this isn't up for debate. Just go up there, bro, and that's how we're gonna do our time. He, reluctantly, he was like, oh, okay, okay. So he went up there. The dude was big. He was I'm 6 foot, so he was 6'4", and he had me by like 20 or 30 pounds. So um, I wasn't tripping. I was like, whatever. If he wants to put up a fight, we'll get him up. So already, I'm telling this story just to let you guys know, that to set it up for you, that there was already animosity there. He wasn't feeling that I had moved him up, and he had made a comment about that. That he's older and this and that, and I'm like, yeah, but look at how you do your time, bro. And like I told you, that's unacceptable, and I'm not gonna go for that. You know. So, anyways, um, a few weeks passed by. And I ended up getting all the material, all the stuff ready to make pruno, to make wine, and I got all the oranges ready. I got the oranges ready. I got the they used to give us apple juice. I got the apple juice ready and stuff. And I remember I told them, hey, save your fruit, save all your stuff so that we can do this. I bought Kool-Aids in the store, which is pretty much all sugar. So you know, I told them, hey, we'll have a good time, we'll drink, and we'll just kick it, just chill out for a while. It's like, all right. So when the time came, after about a few days, the batch was going and everything, and it was, and when it was time, we started drinking. So, you know, it, The pruno was fire. It was fire. It was good. It was some good stuff, man. So we started drinking, you know, and I sent out what I needed to send out to the homies. You know, I had some homies next door who had pitched in, so I had to touch them up too, you know. And I remember he was being greedy, you know. This fool Weddle, my celly was like, oh no no, just you know, he wanted me to water them down and stuff. Oh, don't give them that much, you know. Just give me half of theirs and then put. I was like, come on, homie, that's don't be a scandalous ass dude, man. That's dope fiend ass fucking move, you know. I'm not gonna do the homies like that. So already, you know, he already got my blood boiling already there, you know. So unbeknownst to me, though, is that he had animosity towards me too. I didn't find out till later, but you know, my blood was already boiling. So you know, we started drinking. We kept drinking, and once he got that liquid courage up in him, that's when he told me about, you know, he told me, hey, bro, I want my bed back. You know, I was like, oh man, in my head, I was like, here we go, man. I already knew it. I was like, oh, is that right? Well, check this out, bro. You know, we already talked about it. It was already discussed, and like I told you, it isn't up for debate, bro. And he's like, well, I don't think it's right. You know, you're younger than I am. I'm older. You know, my back's messed up, and blah blah blah. He started with all that bullshit. You know, he started, uh, I'm your elder, and pretty much like you know, you're the youngster, so you're gonna have to do what I say. And I told him, you know, I explained to him, you know, the way he's doing his time is not, it's unacceptable, and it's not. I'm not gonna tolerate it, you know. And if I have to be in the cell with him and have to be minding my p's and q's because he's asleep, then his ass is gonna have to go be asleep in the top rack. But he wasn't accepting that, you know. And like I said, he got that liquid courage in him, so he started like, you know, he's like, oh no, you know, it's not going down. I'm gonna sleep in my bed tonight, you know. And I was like, oh, is that right? So I felt it that he was pushing up on me with it, you know. So I just uh, I put my drink down, you know, and I cracked him, you know. I just cracked him because the way he had said it was like, "Hey, I'm gonna sleep in my bed tonight," you know, and he didn't leave it up for question either. So I just took the cue and I just cracked him, bop, and we just started going at it, man. Just started bop 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 bop. Just started self fight viciously, man. It just, you know, um, I think it wasn't it wasn't much of a fight as far as he used his body weight to push me around, to throw me around, but he wasn't oriented. He wasn't balanced enough, you know, because for two reasons. One is because he wasn't coordinated enough naturally. Secondly is because he was tipsy. So being tipsy and being uncoordinated, already he was already all you know. So it was just it didn't work out for him that well, you know. And so when the COs ended up catching us, you know, they caught us right in the act. So they ended up cracking the door, and we got pepper sprayed. Boom! They pepper sprayed us. They went in there, cuffed us. There was pruno everywhere. I had already cleaned up. I had got rid of the bags and everything, and cleaned up, wiped down the cell and everything. But still, we spilled our pruno. We spilled it on the ground and on the beds and everything. So it was all bad. You know, it was just the smell was, you could just smell it. You know, it was just, it was everywhere. Um, because his face was busted up more. You know, his face was busted up, so they put me as the aggressor. Even though it was a mutual combat, they wrote us up as a mutual combat. So uh, so as far as the Pruno, they didn't prosecute or anything, you know, which they can. Um, Now they'll give you 6 months if they catch you with Pruno, any type. If they catch you making it or if they catch you drinking it, they tack on 6 months to your sentence automatically, you know, and you can't get that time back. You're gonna do 6 more months. So now they were cool about it, so they didn't do that, but they did get us. They gave us each uh, a mutual combat will get you 90 days, but it's a Division D offense, so you can Division D or B. I forgot. It's been a few years, but it you can get that time back though. If you do, you have to stay clean for you gotta stay clean for 6 months, and you'll get that time back. You apply for your credits, restoration of credits, and your date will change back to what it was. Anyways, it was already in the afternoon, so we went out to the stand up cages. I call them the telephone booths. They had us by the program office. They had us in the telephone booths, with pepper spray all over us, and it was winter time, and we were just in our boxers. It was all bad, man. It was just, it was all bad. I was sitting there like fuck, man. This isn't cool, you know. I wanted to be in my bed. I wanted to be asleep, but oh well, you know. Instead, I was pepper sprayed, and I was standing in a cage, and I was heading off to another building because they ended up moving me and they ended up leaving him. But so in a way he ended up getting his bed back that night, but it came at a price. So yeah, that's the story, you know. That's a story about when we got drunk, you know. Being that we already had animosity there in the first place, you know, it just went bad, you know. It went south real quick, you know. But yeah, that's one of the many stories that I'm gonna be putting out there, you know. And like I said, it will be greater, you know. It'll get better, you know. Um, I'm getting equipment so that I could shoot better videos, and I'm learning how to edit so I can get all that done. But in the meantime, just bear with me, man, you know. And just I laugh at that story because, you know, um I'm far from that person. The person that I was then is not the person I am now, you know. A lot has changed in my life, you know. I've changed drastically, you know. uh, I made a conscious effort to make a change in my life, that I was gonna stop or put aside anything that was gonna get me incarcerated, or get me to have my freedom taken from me. Had anything like that, it has to go, you know. I've made those changes, and I'm glad to say that I'm out here now, and I'm planning to stay, you know. Every story has a every bad story that I talk about, you know, has some type of meaning, you know, for me. You know, it's like I can look back and I can laugh at these things. You know, um, I don't. I regret things that I've done, of course, but things that I've gone through have made me who I am now. So I wouldn't. I guess if I go back, there is some things that I would change, but I wouldn't change everything because I am who I am now because my experiences. You know. So those are the things that I want to share with everybody. You know, I want to share that, you know, life is good and it's worth living, man. And as long as you come out of all these things, all these experiences that we go through, as long as you're still breathing, as long as you're still pushing forward, you're winning. You're winning, you know. And all you gotta do is continue to push forward. You know, that's the message that I have for everybody. You know, and I want everybody to understand that I'm not trying to glorify prison. I'm not trying to glorify drugs. I'm not trying to glorify gangs. You know, because that stuff is it's all bad. It was only gonna lead you to, you know, bad endings. You know, what I am trying to do is tell you that those of us who have gone through it, you know, not all of us are bad, and some of us have really learned and have really strived to do better, you know. And one of those persons is me, and I hope that we can go on this journey together. So please give me that like and give me that subscription, man. With that, I'm out. Much love.